Woman is in a relationship where the man doesn't show up, she has to put the pants on. So I'm sorry if I'm masculine, but I've been forced to be masculine. Show me an alpha man that is in his true alpha, not in his wounded masculine, but his full-on masculine, and watch me become a sweet, soft little girl. I need a man that is fully in his energy, masculine energy. And when a man gives that woman that feeling, that safety, that energy, that love, you can feel it. Then a woman deassembles her masculine energy and she falls into her feminine and she becomes a child with that man. But sadly, I have not met those.
You're not going to meet them. Listen, black people are some of the most influential people on the planet, black Americans specifically. Black women created this whole narrative. It's making its way to other races. But I always say, like, when it comes to the internet, when this shit first started, as far as some of these narratives, this one specifically as well, I searched around the internet to see if anybody else was saying this stuff. You don't see the famous white chick saying stuff like this. The first famous black chick that went viral for saying some shit like this was Carrie Hilson. But it had been going on in the black spaces on Twitter and stuff like that for... It's around like the mid 2010s and stuff like that, late 2010s and stuff like that. That's when the narrative began to come out and things of that nature. And this is the thing. When it comes to being a man, you have to be masculine before any woman even comes into the picture. You have to be a man before anyone comes into the picture, any other woman or anything. A woman can motivate you to go harder, but you already have to be what you're going to be. You have to be a man already. You have to be masculine already. And I'm going to say something that I really want to touch on at a later point, a later day, like that whole, like, you know, behind every good man or every strong man is a strong woman or some shit like that. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. And it's a narrative made to validate women. A man is a man regardless who's behind him. These is facts. But when you talk about women and the roles that they are supposed to fulfill and things like that, they have conditional femininity. And it's all because this generation of women have been destroyed. And it wasn't something that happened overnight. It's been a long process. And feminism has played its part. The media has done their part. And now we got a lot of women out here who are incredible ass shakers, but not even decent homemakers, horrible homemakers. And right now we're in a crisis, and it's mostly because these women suck.
Okay, go for it. Okay, so why did we end up popping his?
Attraction. It just wasn't really there.
Okay. And what was it for you?
His head is smaller than mine, I feel like. I feel like it's valid, though.
So you think he has like a small head?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not small head, but it's like smaller than mine. I have a big head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your head's big at all.
Really?
No.
Maybe it's like my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go over here. So why'd you end up popping your balloon?
It may be a dumb reason, but just the reason you popped is, you're looking at me crazy. I understand. So like for me, you know, if you may find me attractive or whatever it may be, you know, like if I get into a car accident or something, my head gets smaller, I know you're not going to be there for me. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay.
Yeah.
I probably was going to pop yours anyways.
That's fine.
Okay. So why were you going to pop his?
Probably like his mouth, teeth. Like, it's just not really attractive to me.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, listen, there's something about chicks, and I got to figure out a way to identify this and put it into 1 or 2 or 3 words. But it's something to where they take men's kindness for weakness. They take, you know, the fact that they take the protection that other men give them, and they, you know, go overboard with it. Even the society gives them, and they overstep boundaries and go overboard with it. And that's exactly what this is. There is a societal understanding, or even an understanding as far as this situation. So it'll be a situational understanding. Now listen, these guys are here trying to win over women, right? They're trying to get a woman. And even then, this is going to be, not televised, but it's going to be broadcasted globally. So these guys are not going to do anything to make themselves look bad by roasting me and clowning me and throwing harsh jokes or harsh insults or harsh critiques at me. They know that guys are going to be on their best behavior. So what do they do in these situations? They know that these guys are pretty much like lions in a cage. I'm sure it's a lot of dudes up there who could roast, who could throw it at them, who could go crazy. But what do these chicks do? They decide, I'm going to insult the guys in front of me. The second one especially, it was vindictive because she didn't like that she got rejected. So she tried to find something negative to say, something hurtful to say, and it wasn't coming from a genuine place. Even with the other one, she doesn't have any tact. You see, a lot of the women will come out and they will see something wrong and they will try and hold back and try and figure out a different way to word it because those specific women are considerate of the guy's feelings. They are considerate enough to say, listen, I don't want to embarrass him. So let me find a better way to say this or X, Y, Z. And y'all can say, oh man, sugarcoating. Listen, bro. These chicks know that they sensitive. Every single one of them is sensitive. A dude on the first episode of this shit said something about a chick's hat. All the chicks popped the balloons. And that's the exact psychology I'm talking about. Like, they know these dudes got to be on their best behavior, right? This chick talking about dude head is too small and the other dude got messed up teeth and stuff like that. If one of them niggas say that she look like Earthworm Jim, that she look like a Twizzler in her dress, if they start going at her crazy, now, oh, you an emotional man, you sassy, ooh, you doing the back and forth, ooh, you got a bussy, you gay, ooh, would you say that to your mama, do your mama like dick? Just all types of shit. These chicks will cry in the car and shit like that. But that's what it be. When you watch these shits, that's one of the things that bother me the most. The rude and unnecessary backhanded comments or critiques about a man's appearance. They know they can't take that. But they can definitely dish it out. All of them can dish it out.
What can we do better for y'all? I'm curious about that.
I love that. I think a couple things. One is, like the Bible says, love us by knowledge of us.
Okay.
Not by past experience of them.
Oh,
One.
yes, ma'am.
And how do you gain knowledge? We need your vulnerability. We need you not to be afraid of coming off as insecure or coming off as thirsty. Mm-hmm. We need you thirsty. Mm-hmm. We need you vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And if that means that you're in your insecure space, come with that. Because a woman who is really in her space of being a wife, or a woman who can really support you and facilitate you, she is going to nurture that. She is not going to emasculate or take advantage or exploit that. So ask us, baby, what does this look like for you? What do you need in this moment? You seem frustrated. These are the things that I want to do, but will that work for you? Okay, well, what works for you? Let me see if it's within my bandwidth, because whatever's within my capacity, I'm going to give you.
Listen, man, a few things before we even get into this. The first thing, I don't even know what the back end of that shit was. I don't know what the back end of that shit was. But the second thing, shout out to Corey Holcomb for exposing that this chick is not a real doctor. Not a real, let me tell you again, she goes by like Dr. Dan or whatever the fuck. It's Dr. something. Not a real doctor. I haven't seen her, obliterate that on a fact check or nothing like that. I haven't seen anything like that pop up. But listen, this is a trap. You cannot be vulnerable with your woman and not expect it to get blown up in your face at some point or in some way. They could take, and this is what a lot of them do, and this is universal. It's so universal that men all around the world know this. It's not an American thing. It's not a, continental Western thing or Eastern. No. This is universal. And it happens even in languages you can't understand. When you get vulnerable and when you show a woman your weakness, one thing that she could do when she is emotional, when she is angry, a lot of women are prone to poke at your weaknesses, to throw back, whatever you divulge to her in your vulnerable moments, they're going to throw that back in your face. Thing is, a guy. If you know 10 guys, you know at least one who has experienced this. If you have not experienced it yourself. We just got done watching a chick be condescending and rude to strangers for no reason. Literally no reason. She's on a dating show talking about the size of a dude's head. Being rude and condescending for no reason. When you got a woman and you confide in her and she knows your weaknesses and she gets really emotional later down the line, really mad, she will throw that shit in your face. I've seen a chick who was in a relationship with a dude arguing with him publicly on the internet, say something about his dead grandma and started going about his dead grandma because she knew that was supposed to be a soft spot. I do want to tell you that dude was unfazed because he was just like, shit, I'm gonna get more bitches, man. You gonna see me with these bitches now. You gonna see me with these bitches now. That's what type of time he was on. But every man ain't that strong. So that's the first thing as far as being vulnerable with your girl. But the second thing is that she is going to lose attraction and possibly respect, depending on how vulnerable you are and how weak it makes you look in her eyes. I always reference this skit right here. Go and look it up on YouTube. It's very funny. If you see it, come back and put it in the comments as far as a link if I forget to do it. But listen, I recommended that on a previous video. It is a funny skit, but it'll lay it out for you. And I've never met that man in my life. I don't know him. We don't even live in the same state. And he still came up with that skit. These things that I'm telling you are uni-fucking-versal. They're universal. Those vulnerable moments could make her lose attraction and make her also lose respect that you will never get back. You'll never get it back. Forget about it. Just chalk it up. Just start over with somebody else, bro. It's over. Listen, if you feel the world is on your shoulders and everything is too heavy, bruh, you have to figure out some ways to release. You have to figure out ways to get that off your shoulders. If you can get it off through a male friend, that's perfect. I'm not going to say that's perfect, but that's better than the situation as far as putting it on your girl. I don't recommend telling any females, not even a female at your job, not even if you buying prostitutes. Don't even tell the prostitutes because they going to get up and make YouTube videos about you in fucking 30 years. Like the one chick that's floating around now talking about, relationships and tantric sex because she done did fucking 40 years of prostitution and shit. So don't go to the prostitutes and tell them your problems and stuff like that. Or the strippers who really don't give a fuck about you and actually hate you. Don't do that. Go and get you a therapist. I don't care if you do it over the phone. I don't care if you go into the office. If you feel that you got to get this shit off, start doing that. The other thing that I recommend, and this is some real shit, I don't care how it sounds, if neither one of those are an option, you find a safe space, a quiet space. It might be inside your car. It might be when you're golfing or whatever. And talk to yourself, dog. Get it off your shoulders. Get it off your chest. Just do that. Just talk. Talk it out. Talk it the fuck out with yourself. If it's in nature, if it's in your crib while your girl is not home, make sure she don't got no surveillance devices laying around to get the audio and shit like that, because you know how sneaky these chicks is. Just do that. But you gotta, if it's something very heavy, you gotta find another way to release other than your girl, because they are just unforgiving when it comes to that. Don't fall for the shit. She's saying we need you to be vulnerable. And you'll probably even see chicks in these comments if this video blow up enough, which it probably won't, but you'll see them in the comments of, you know, posts like this, and they'll be, oh man, no, that's not true. Not all women. You need to open up, safe space, These chicks be chameleons. That be the thing, bro. When it come down to it, even the most wholesome looking chicks, bro, these chicks be chameleons, man. Don't fall for it, bro. She just like the other ones, man. She just like the other ones when it come to this right here. And with that, I'm done. I gave you the ways to, you know, handle your issues, relieve your stress, man. Maybe you got to go to the shooting range or whatever you got to do, bruh. Figure that shit out. But the one thing you do not do is put your problems on your girl, because she is not going to appreciate that shit. She is not going to. They saying in this video, oh, you need to be vulnerable. You need to open up. Fucking don't. Let her complain about that shit, because women are contradictory. They say a lot of shit, but they don't stand on fucking nothing. They might as well be flying. I'm done.